As a small biz pro, so we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, so we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business flag? Good afternoon, everyone. This is a Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And today, Crystal, we're going to have a great show.
We're going to have a great show. We have one of our celebrity photographers going to be in the house shortly.
That's
and
right.
He's going to talk about how show business is a business. And we kind of were talking about that last week with Roz.
Yes.
You know, and a lot of times creative people. In fact, I was talking to someone at in class today, Elizabeth, who's with the Gang Workforce Gang program, and so she informed me that she's an artist by that's really what she'd like to be. That's her passion.
Wow.
And so, but she was trying to figure out how do artists make money? Because they, is what I asked Ian the other day, right? The right brain, the left brain,
exactly.
right? And so I was giving her some ideas, and she went, wow, I never thought about that. And then, so I'm going to bring her and Ardina Brooks together.
Good. That's good.
Because they kind of, it almost sounded like a same conversation.
Like they complement each other,
and I was
right?
like, okay.
Yes.
But, so that's kind of what we're doing, because that's an industry we think, again, it's one of those independent industries, but there is a business to that industry. So how do you make money in order to take care of all the expenses and the things you need? And they have to go above and beyond when we talk about marketing.
That's true.
So every time they have a new product or a new program or a new TV show or whatever they're doing, they got to have a marketing plan for that each and every time.
See, they call that the art industry, and it's really the art industry because however they market, however they present their product and services to the audience, it has to be very artfully done. They have to really,
because it's them. They're the brand, right?
Exactly.
So it's a little different. Where if you're not your brand, now you and I are our brand, right? But if I was working, Facebook is not Mark Zuckerberg's brand. He's behind it, but the show itself does what it does, right? I mean, the business itself leans and stands on its own.
Right.
But when you are your own brand, now you gotta, everything you do, it's gotta be pristine. It's gotta be eye catching and entertaining because that's your business.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, so I found, and Ian had just published a photography tabletop book, and I found not just with him, but most artists and authors, they write the book. And then they realize that, oh my God, this is a business, and I need to. How am I gonna get it sold? Because now that's the hard part.
So they create it, and then they're wondering, okay, how do we market it now?
Right, and it really should be. And when I, that's one of the things on my bucket list, or my soon-to-be bucket list, because I want to get paid to speak.
Oh yeah.
And one of the products that you need to have is a published book.
That's right.
That's what gets you on the dais.
Well,
right.
We're almost there. We already have the content.
We got the time to
coordinate it and put it together and make it happen.
Right. So even if it's a collaborative book, long as it has your name on the cover to say. So a lot of people, that's what they're doing. So that's actually what our guest has done. He's actually collaborated with someone.
Right.
So
which is good. Heroes and legends, huh?
Yeah, heroes and legends. We're going to talk to him. He's going to be here shortly. And that's what we're going to talk about, the business of show business.
Yeah.
Today, before we get into that, first of all, and he just walked in the house. Nope. There. We'll get you in a minute. Yeah, sit there. So here's
have
something.
To share some protocol with you.
The White House is all the news because the obstruction of him really trying to fire Mueller in June.
It's very evident now.
It's very evident now.
They've got a lot of evidence to show that he actually
gave the order, but the order was refuted by the White House
somebody
counsel.
who said that he would quit
Yeah.
if he didn't, and that was the only way they got it stopped. So there's your obstruction.
Yeah.
But I was listening on the way in. I was listening, and they were saying that not just him. Anyone that was trying to help him do that. Mm-hmm. So if that was his daughter, if that was his son,
that means they're complicit
everybody was complicit, right? That's the same thing they did to the war on drugs. If you knew that your child was selling drugs, then you're just as complicit as them. So that complicity is not just for one. That's right. That's the law for everybody, right? Yeah. So it's going to be pretty interesting.
That's going to be interesting.
Right.
Wow.
Now.
Wonder what the next few months are going to be like.
Wow, it's speeding up though.
Yes, it is.
And the books that are now coming out, and just imagine, there are certain people like April. That's the White House correspondent.
Yeah.
Oh my God, her career has just gone to another, because she can write a book.
Mm-hmm. Well, didn't she just write a book?
Well, they're gonna write some other ones after this is all done, right? Because they know some stuff that we don't hear every day. Yeah. Every journalist, every talk show host, everybody they about to be paid, because that's gonna be a bigger market than Nixon.
It will be.
Yeah, so that'll be pretty interesting.
And now with everyone in social media and all of that,
because it gets out there really quick. But now on the business side of that, so the tax reform, right? They gave them the big corporations the benefit.
Yeah.
So yesterday, I know two things happened this past week that affected business and consumers.
Yes.
One was number 45 put a tariff.
Yes, I saw that.
Solar panels,
washing machines,
and washing machines. Yes. So washing machines are going up another $50.
That is crazy. And LG, they just jump right into it and say, hey, because of this tariff, we're going to have to increase our prices on our washing machine. Now, who's going to suffer from that? Not only residential consumers, but those laundromats. Because they're the ones that are using those high-power washing machines too.
Right.
That's gonna.
So that affects the business world and the small business. Yeah, because those are your apartment buildings. Yeah. Those are your commercial. Yeah, those are small business owners that have started the laundromats. Oh yeah. And that can be a very lucrative if you're looking to get in business. Yeah. Laundromats are very lucrative and little bit of a cost prohibitive, but you could get investors because the return is great.
So I told you that I'm the president of my homeowners association, right? Mm-hmm. We've got 4 or 5 washing machines and 4 or 5 dryers.
Okay. And
each month we generate anywhere from $300 to $500 for people using that. Right. You see what I mean? Uh-huh. So now, not only those guys are going to jack up that price, but now we're going to have to pay more to use it. So it's a trickle down effect.
It's a trickle down, and that's what was being said about the tax reform is that trickle down theory does not work. And they kept telling you that it was going to benefit. But in addition to that, look how many companies have laid off people because they're going to use that money, and the reason the stock market is where it is because the buybacks of their stock has been outrageous since January 1st.
Yes.
So this affects everyone. So if you were going to, it's like we're rich, but I don't want you to get rich. So let me jack up the price of the stock by me buying, and it's buying high, right? Yeah. So you're not going to get anything of this. Right. So it's like we don't want any other bodies to be rich but us.
See, I look at this like the lion in the jungle theory, because when the lion is in the jungle, the male lion, he rules, right? He's a king. But when they make a kill, he eats first.
Right.
And he can eat as much as he wants. Right. Until he's sick of it and he wants to walk away. Right.
And if he wants to be greedy and narcissistic, he ain't going to leave you nothing.
Exactly. And whatever is left over, the little scraps, is what the rest of the pride
and
has
you should
to
be
fight
thankful.
over. Exactly. So that's exactly what this trickle-down theory is all about.
Right.
It's like the lion in the jungle theory.
It's the lion in the jungle
it's
theory.
Unbelievable, man, because all we're getting is scraps right now. And that scraps is not even sufficient. like the tax that so-called tax, what they call it,
tax reform bill.
Well, it's not really a reform. It's a tax cut for the rich.
Yeah, that's what it was.
See what I mean? It's a tax cut for the rich.
Yeah, there you go.
You see what I'm saying? So, yesterday, I'm glad you mentioned that. Yesterday, he went to Davos in Switzerland. Mm-hmm. Okay, that was like a mecca for all the rich and wealthy. The rich and all those billionaires were there. So they were talking about how he helped them to become rich using this tax cut thing that he did, which is unbelievable. And then he goes there and he's trying to invite some of those folks on to come here and do business. Because he's saying, oh, you can get all these tax benefits. So that was the plan.
That's always been the plan.
That was
That's
plan.
Always. In fact, I already had read Fire and Fury, and I was just mentioning that to Felicia, that one of the things that Michael Wolff did, well, first of all, he sold out all the books that he had that first week when it hit, right?
Yeah.
As soon as, and actually beforehand, because a lot of us had pre-ordered because Trump was trying to put a stop to it. Yeah. So he actually helped them, right?
That helped
right?
him.
That helped him. So there was only 29,000 books that were actually in circulation for that first 20 days, because that was January 9th is when it actually hit,
first
right?
Circulation,
so the first 10 days. Now people have the book. And I tell you, the book is worth reading because you totally get a full picture of what's going on. Then after you read that book, then you need to jump on into Collusion. Now, Collusion is not written like a novel, but I was reading today, it's like, this morning when I was heading, I was like, oh my God, this is scary. Because the involvement of Russia is, oh my God.
It's tremendous.
We have been, if you want to call it anything better than, America was just raped, and they don't even know they were raped.
We've been bamboozled and raped.
And they have, and all these rich people who are benefiting from it, they are all in on it.
That's right.
All of those corrupt. So all of those people that keep arguing and saying that Trump didn't do this, and especially the wealthy ones.
Corker.
Oh, all of them are just getting.
Corker.
Right, exactly.
$600 million a year. Corker.
Right, exactly. So that... People, all I'm going to tell you is, I know you don't like to read, but if you don't even like to read, I'm going to suggest you get Audible. Yeah. And if you got Amazon Prime, you get Audible, you get free credits. You can get a new book every week if you choose to.
And all of this affects your small business.
Everything.
All of this stuff that's going on affects your small business. So you really want to know what the impact is to your business and how you can mitigate that impact. That's really what this is all
you
about.
can't be a turtle right now. No. You can't draw your head in and say, I don't want to listen to it. I want to hear it. No, because it's going to affect you. Yeah. Now, here's a new thing. Last week with they're silently rounding up people, Latino people, and actually physically, it's like a roundup like they did with the Jews. Yeah. It really, truly is happening. Yeah. But one thing that was really significant, and this applies to anybody that was born in another country, and you're a naturalized, you got your green card, and then you got your permanent residence, and you became a citizen. So last week there was a guy from Poland. He had his citizenship. Yeah. He had gone through the whole process. They deported him.
What?
Yeah. They said he was not born here in this country. He had been here for 40. Poland. He was here for 40 years.
Rare. That is rare.
He was here for 40 years. He's a doctor. His wife is American and his kids, but his wife was born in America. But he has his citizenship. Wow. They deported him last week. That's serious for people from other countries.
That's making me nervous now.
Yeah, my girlfriend, I talked to her, she goes, oh my God, because they're all from Cuba. Yeah. And they all got they all are citizens now.
Unbelievable.
So it's one thing when we're talking about whether or not you have so the next step was, so they've been deporting some that had their green card status. Yeah. Now those that have gone that next step and you paid your money. Yeah. I know my girlfriend, her, and when they talk about the chain in the immigration, so when they got here, that's usually the goal. You come, you do what you need to do to become legal. Then you reach back and you bring your family with you, right? So they want to eliminate that. And they want to eliminate all quotas.
That's ridiculous. Right?
So that means shut it down. We don't want nobody else in this country. And as soon as we get all these other people out, we're going to keep the Negro people because we're going to put them back in slavery. Yeah. So, my girlfriend, her parent, and it took about 20 years for her to get her brother and his wife and his child here from Cuba, and they paid over $30,000 for that to happen.
Wow.
So they paid a lot of money for that to happen. So now he's turning around talking about you gonna reverse that? Yeah. Oh no, ridiculous. You got to be listening to what they're doing, because it's not just about the fact closing our borders for terrorists. First of all, what terrorists have come across Mexico? Not one has come across the border. They have flown in.
We don't know of any. We don't know of any. And some of them came on their little jets too.
And most of them came from school. Yeah. Their visas were up and they just stayed.
Yeah.
So that's serious stuff, because now we're talking. We got two things going on here. We're talking how Hitler rose to where he rose, and then every time you shut us down, speaking wise, we're talking McCarthyism. Yes. So you're telling me that you're going to control my every move so that I can make sure you stay rich. Oh no. They need to put him under the jail.
Well, I'm sure that this is going to be solved soon. We hope if we all participate and go out and do it.
We have to be paying attention and listening. Yeah, it's important.
We just got to vote. You got to vote,
and you got to rise up. You know, you got to protest like the women are doing.
Well, the one thing, what's her name? Richardson. What's her first name from Planned Parenthood? Is it Ann Richardson?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah. No, that was her mom. That was her mom. Her mom was Ann Richardson, but she's a president and CEO of Planned Parenthood. What she's saying right now is she's saying that they're encouraging a lot more women to register to vote and also to run for offices. So they're saying that when they did that march, was it last week they did that march? 20,000 women sign up to run for offices.
Oh, and that's also Emily's List.
Yes.
Yeah, Emily's List. Yes. That's actually a female celebrity actress they're all sitting on that type of board. So they're galvanizing women that can run,
which is good.
Yes, she was on the lady that is behind Emily's List. She was on The View this past week. Yeah. So that was good. But here's something else, and so women are starting to band together to help each other. So the young lady, I want to say this is I can't think of her last name. It's with an S, but I actually just recently saw her in a movie called Molly's Game. But she was she's going to be in the movie with Olivia Spencer. Mm-hmm. Is it Spencer? I think it's Olivia Spencer. So when they were negotiating contracts, so she came, she's white and Olivia's black. Mm-hmm. And so she said, look, here's what the deal is. If you want me, she and I get paid the exact same amount of money. And this is what I'm looking to negotiate. So this lady has now, because this other woman, other actress, backed her up. Wow. She's going to be paid 10 times more than she's ever been paid for any other part that she's ever done.
You said Olivia, right?
I think it's Olivia Spencer.
And she played in...
she's been in a lot. She's
she played with I think it's Whoopi Goldberg.
No, what was it? The Help.
The Help.
Yeah, she was the one that brought the pie.
That's that woman. She's good. She's good. She's good. I like her.
Octavia.
Octavia.
So now 10 times more than she's ever been paid.
It's about time.
Because this woman said, no, if you want me, you want her.
See, and that's what this Richards lady, I can't remember her first name from Planned Parenthood. That's what she said. She said that we got to start standing up for women of color because they've done a lot of hard work. They also are the ones who go out there and vote more than any other group. Mm-hmm. And we got to start standing up.
She says, white women, we need to step up because the women of color have already, the black women are already standing up.
And we got to support them.
Yeah.
So what you just said reminded me exactly of what she said, because that's exactly what she's been saying. That if you see one of them fallen and they're hurting, you go support them. You
right.
know, don't just let them be on their own.
Right.
You know, and that's what we're doing here for businesses as well. You know,
right. We have to come together to help, and even if it's in your specific industry, and if you've moved, and we talk about this, it's about that elevator going up to the top, you got to go back down and pull up. Send
it back down.
So maybe Trump, this is the silver lining that he's forcing everyone, because he's just
galvanizing people,
right? Because that is just so despicable that you going, oh, wait a minute, I don't want to be. So now we're galvanized. In fact, I remember last year, the beginning part of the year, right after one of Philandro had been murdered. Mm-hmm. And there was this young woman on Facebook. It was a Facebook Live, and everybody was outraged, right? And she was in tears, and she says, she did her Facebook Live. She goes, white people, you got to talk. You guys have to speak up, because they are not hearing us. Yeah. We need you to speak up and to say that this is despicable behavior because they will never hear us. Right. And so she was pleading for them at that point. So that's what we're talking about, is you, all of us, if you're human beings, whatever, no matter what your outside coat cover is, because inside we're all the same, then we are human beings, and that's who we should be fighting for, the human race.
And you know what's amazing? I think before groups start coming together, you're going to see women coming together first, then you see men.
Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? Because women, well, first of all, as a female, and if you're a female and you have children, then you've already stepped outside of yourself by the fact that you have to be there as the sole support of your children and your husband. Yeah. So you have a vested interest that I didn't give birth to this child for it to die in the street or it not to become an adult. Right. So you got a much more commitment. There's a saying that they say, the pig is committed. Oh no! Wait a second. Yeah, when you eat breakfast, the pig is committed because the bacon came from the inside.
But the chicken, they just lay the egg and
they just keep on. Right, their life keeps going on. But the pig is actually committed.
Oh yeah, to that ham and cheese sandwich.
To the ham and cheese, the bacon and the BLT, the ham, whatever you're eating, the pig is committed. So the woman has. She's looking out for her legacy, for the child that she gave birth to. Right. And whereas, he was part of the situation, but he didn't house it. Yeah. And he didn't carry it for 9 months. That's amazing. And the mothers are always the ones who always worry about their children.
That is true.
Right? And so they have much more of a vested interest, and especially if they have small kids. Yes. Because what is this? If you really stop, and that's what I always say, if the world continues like it is and you have children and they're under the age of 35, what the heck are we leaving them?
I know. That's crazy.
I mean, that's crazy when you talk about having your baby in 25, 30 years from now. Mm-hmm. What, they're going to be in concentration camps? So that would be, that makes a lot of sense that women are coming together and working together.
I like that.
And supporting each other. Which is some of and especially with this administration that doesn't appear to like women.
Not at all. Not at all.
I've never seen it's so weird that a group of men that truly don't like women.
And here's the amazing thing, though. All of the things that we're realizing and finding out about all of those folks, when they get replaced, they're getting replaced by women. Do you notice that? They're getting replaced by women. All of those guys that's been voted out of office over the last few months, they've been replaced by women.
Well, what I heard this morning on the news, someone that was actually going to MC and host the Academy Awards was a man, but then now he's being pulled out for abuse.
Was it that guy?
What's his name? Is Fernando?
No.
Franco. Yeah. So now they're looking at a woman being the replacement, which is interesting because that was one of the things they said at the last, I don't know, the Golden Globes. Yeah. Even though they were all standing up, Me Too, and they were in their black, there were no awards that were none of the awards were really given to women. They were all to mostly men and directors
really?
and all that kind of stuff. And so they were saying, okay, that got to change. So now, when they're pulling him out, then I guess that's what that means.
That's going to be interesting.
So you're seeing it, but I guess in that industry, and even I think, was it Meryl Streep or one of them was saying, now we can even get jobs. No, it was one of the other. Yeah. Now we can get parts even past the age of 40. Whereas,
because that was like a big
you're old and a has-been at 40. That's what all about Eve is about, and all that sort of stuff was that you were has-been past 30.
Unbelievable.
So it's going to be interesting, but yes, politically, women gonna rule the world for a hot minute, because the men that we know are in bad. The men that are on display right now.
I'm cool. I'm cool with that, because we've been seeing this for, I'd say, centuries now. Men leading, and we've gone in a lot of different directions because of the leadership of men. So now we want a different flavor. We want to see how else it works.
Right, exactly.
With women at the helm, see how that works. If that doesn't work, then we find somebody else. Maybe somebody who's handicapped, and see how that works.
It's just, because right now they've been at the helm, and there's no nurturing quality about them. I think the more power they have had. I've been watching a series, and it's interesting when you watch for international television, when you watch shows or movies or from international shows. I'm watching this one called The Call of Midwives, and it's shot in London or in England, and it was about midwives when they were doing that. And it's just so interesting that these women had no control over their bodies, so no contraceptive, no nothing, and they were having babies upon babies upon babies. Daddies were going off doing whatever they want, and all they could do was just have babies. And then these in England is probably worse than here. Because they didn't have women's suffrage like we did, right?
No.
So they even had to have. I was watching one show last night, and it was like, contraceptives have just gotten theirs in the 60s, right? And she says, "Does my husband have to sign like I do, like he has to sign for me to have a bank account?"
Oh. That is deep.
So we thinking just here, but in England and Great Britain, these women had no power. Everything that they did was that, even if they moved out of they got divorced, then he got everything. He got the kids, he got the house, they were put out on the street.
That is deep.
So that's kind of interesting when we look around the world, and then you go to Africa and those countries where circumcision is big, and because but they've been conditioned by their culture and the family values, which is really being dictated by the male in the family.
Well, slowly but surely that's changing,
so it's gonna
and like I say, I'd love to welcome that, because my thing is, whatever happens to any group, it's capable of happening to my group.
Right.
You see what I mean? So I don't want to wait to find out if it's going to happen to my group. I want to stop it up front.
You want to be, we all want to have an active part.
We all should be thinking that way.
Yeah.
But some people don't, because, they're privileged, they're protected. So they figure, hey, we're a protected group, so we don't have to think about it until it starts happening.
Right.
Because think about it. Happened with the Japanese it happened with the blacks first. Mm-hmm. Happened with the Jews, happened with the Japanese,
American Indian,
the Native Americans, and now we're hearing it's happening to El Salvadorian and Haitian. Mm-hmm. You see what I mean? It's gonna come back around to us.
Yeah.
So we got to make sure we protect ourselves and join forces with the other group and speak out in their defense.
We'll truly become one nation under God. Indivisible, because when we're helping each other, then we are helping God's children. Yeah. But when we're just helping ourselves, and we think we don't know our neighbors, and just because our neighbors don't share the same religion or same culture that we do, that there's some other kind of people.
And see, what you just talked about, those things been happening to women for a long time. Nobody spoke up. Mm-mm. Nobody, even some men who don't agree with it, they still said nothing about it. Mm-hmm. That's my thing, that you got to say something. It could be your mom, it could be your sister, it could be your daughter. you got to speak out.
You have to be. And I mean, look at women that have been abused. You know, they go to tell even their own parents, their own mother, and they're like, "Well, this is a bed that you've made," or that's your husband.
They say, "Don't get him upset, because he's paying the bills here."
Right, exactly. Right, or he's bragging to his men, I got control over my woman. I can do X, Y, and Z to her, and then them saying, "Wait a minute, that's not right," because again, this is the mother of your children.
Right. Yeah, that bothers me.
Yeah, so that's why we have to stand up for women, because one, they're the cradle of life.
That's true.
I mean, if you don't think they're valuable for anything else, your children didn't get here. Because if you didn't give birth, what did Trump say this week? That he
got to cut that 9 months.
That 9 months down.
Ridiculous.
I mean, have you heard anything? Some people, some states, people are carrying babies to 9 months.
We got to cut that. It's like
all
ridiculous.
States. So you know what that tells me? And this is important because women, you like working with women business owners.
Oh, for sure.
And and I'm sure you can see that there's some differences when there's a woman at the helm, right?
Yeah.
It's because you're nurturing whatever, right? So when I said that, I thought, wow, he wasn't even with any of his wives during the time she was pregnant.
Never.
Or the time after she gave birth. Because if he didn't know why, the gestation period is 9 months. Yeah. Because that means he wasn't going to the doctors with them, right?
The stupid thing is he's saying, we got to cut that from 9 months to less. That's ridiculous. Now, for those of you who are listening to us, we're having a great conversation here. We're on the Business Zone, and we're talking business, but we're also talking about social politics as well, and issues that directly affect us individually, but then it could also spill over into your business. Mm-hmm. So our phone number here is 323-293-3375. 323-293-3375. Give us a call if you want to chime in. And we have a very special guest here, Mr. Ian Foxx. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break right now, Crystal.
Yes.
And we'll come back on the other side of the break, and we'll
with
introduce
our guest.
Yes, we'll introduce our guest. So you're on the Business Zone with
Krista
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. Take a break.
All right.
Hello. Meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
Each year, the state of California contracts for billions of dollars of goods and services. We as a state can and should leverage our spending power to achieve policy goals that help the people of California. One major policy goal we have is to create jobs and grow our state economy. Promoting the development of small businesses within California is a great way for us to do that, because California small businesses are the engine of economic growth. 95% of companies in California are small businesses, and with the right opportunities, these small businesses can grow to become the next Apple, Netflix, or Tesla. So let's all do our part to promote small business development and grow our state economy. Together, we can really make
So we're back on the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And Crystal, who do we have in the studio
We
today?
have Mr. Ian Foxx of Fox Media, is media group or photography?
Fox Media Group, LLC.
Oh.
Okay.
So you got to be careful. Put the LLC on there because there's another Fox Media.
I saw that when I was out.
And it's a porno.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, out of Florida. Yeah.
I guess
we got to differentiate.
Yes, LLC.
So there you guys have it, Fox Media Group,
yes,
LLC. So this is a quiet celebrity photographer, actor, producer, videographer. He just kind of covers the gamut. What is that? What would that be? A triple or quadruple threat?
Yes.
That's a person who needs a job. That's what that is.
That's a person who has figured out there's some money to be made in this industry, so I'm going to try all areas, right?
Absolutely.
So Mr. Fox, he's been out there now in Los Angeles. Now, I know he has his stage, and I actually just found out the depth of your talent just recently, actually, because for RBD, he's been Recycling Back Dollars. He's been our photographer for all the events that we've had over the last 29. Well, wow, since you've been here, right?
Since I've been here, I started with my. I was, you ride past the joint over in Manchester. They used to be over there. Yeah, so
29 years, because...
Well, I've been around about the last 18 to 19.
18 to 9 years. So he, for all of our events, and actually for every event that takes place that has anything to do with the city of Los Angeles, this man is at every event. So if you want to know what's going on in L.A., then you go to his Smug Mug, and you will see all the events, because he's got all the photos there. But he's beyond that. He's also a very a man that's very involved in the creative world, in the theater world, and he's written plays, he's produced plays.
So he's got some acting skills and directorial skills as well.
Got a little chop.
So, Mr. Ian Foxx, welcome to our studio.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the Business Zone.
To the Business Zone. We're happy to have you. Now, we had a quick short interview with him 2 days ago,
right,
on the television show,
on public access
channel 36. But now you got you for a while, so we used to just have a good time.
So now we can get up all in your business.
So Ian, as we talk, so we're gonna have to duplicate some of it though, because some of those people might not have seen it because that was in West Hollywood. Now we're in Los Angeles. So tell us about yourself.
Whoa, tell you about. Okay, the most exciting part is I will be 75 years old this year.
Oh, wow.
And this is my 50th year in show business.
You don't look it at all.
Yeah, so,
all that energy.
Hey, man, that's what happens when you run around looking for a job. You got lots of energy.
Well, actually, I think that's what happens when you're doing not your job. You're passionate about
your passion,
what you're doing.
and you love it.
It's like you meet people and people are doing things and you partake, and it's amazing. I think more than anything, being a photographer has been, well, first of all, when I got into theater, I found that there was a lot of things that I wasn't aware of. And when you begin to get involved in theater, you do a lot of research.
Okay.
And it winds up being very, very educational because you learn about, when you have a character, you have to learn what makes this character tick.
That is true.
So you take him and strip him all the way down.
That is true.
Okay? So, I mean, it's like, and then not only the character, then you have to strip down the characters that you're in the show with.
Right, that you interface with.
Yes, so you have to know everything about them. So if it's one guy who's a pipe fitter or another guy who's a blacksmith or whatever, you have to learn
and understand that craft.
Understand that craft so that you can get along and communicate with that person. And I find that I equate the same thing as when you take pictures. I see a lot of faces. Buku means a lot. and what's amazing about it is how little you really know about the people whose photos that you take.
Right.
Because a lot of us here in Los Angeles, per se, I'm saying now, probably all over the world, we interface with people, but we never really know who these people are.
Yeah.
You never have dinner with them.
Yeah.
You know, you never go out, you see them. I see them at events. And it's amazing sometimes when you open up to people and you find out where they're from, where the people are from, the things that they like, and you find all these similarities in the individuals. So what I really, really like more than anything is, since I've been involved in L.A., is that the people that you come in contact with. And not so much the personalities or the central figures, it's just the common man. That's why I like photographing people in the capacity when they're working with other people.
Right.
So some things are being done.
Okay.
Like when we're recycling black dollars, well, we're interfacing with a lot of other small business people. And you have more in common with these people than you really think that you do. You think we're different, but we're not.
Right.
You know, we're all the same. We're all trying to get someplace. You know, and we're trying to learn how to work with one another. But most of us, this is a first generational thing. You know, because nobody left you anything. You know, most of us. I mean, someone leave you a house and a business? Did someone leave you one?
Nope.
So you know, you're really we're all going through the same thing together. You know, and I heard you guys talking about the government and things that are happening in the country now. And it's I can't remember ever being this involved in what was going on, you know, like.
Actually, you're absolutely right. I was, and I don't know whether it was Jake Chopper or one of the talk show hosts or commentators were saying that there are people literally saying exactly what you said. You know, with Obama, we became involved because we saw someone that looked like us, right? So every time he had a state of address, you were there. I was sitting in front of TV like with the popcorn ready, right?
If you want to see what's in it,
you wanted to hear him talk, right? Because he was so brilliant, and but I remember every time Bush would come on, like, oh no, don't want to hear this jerk, and so so I never even and I don't think we really got really involved until Bush. Prior to that, which is why this probably happened, is because we go vote. They tell us who to vote for.
Well, we got involved with Bush after 9/11.
After 9/11, exactly.
During 9/11, and then what was the hurricane down there when he never did?
Katrina. Then we got involved. But prior to that,
I mean, like they were like plastic people.
Right. They were over there.
When it came time to be human,
right.
You know, then we said, oh, this president we have, he's kind of human. You know, he talks about things, and it's I mean, it was peaceful when he was in the White House.
Now,
I mean, like,
it's all relative, right? Because who could have thought that there was going to be somebody crazier or more lunatic-y than Bush?
But I mean, like, you know.
But now I like him as a person.
See, like, my take on it is this: a lot of people are upset with Bush. I mean, with the current president.
Number 5.
45.
45. But look, it goes beyond. It's the people who did it.
Yeah, you're right.
The people did it. He didn't do it. He talked a good game. But now we find out how upset a lot of people have been the last 8 years. So they didn't care what got in there, long as it was somebody else. Somebody else, you know. So
no, you're absolutely right, and I think we were at that point when right after Bush and 9/11, we were at that point. Oh my God, he will be fantastic. And then when Hillary was running, okay, this is people were thinking the lesser of the two evils. But little did they know how evil, how deep that evil strand was. But you're absolutely right. But I think it's also important. I think the other time, and we were all too young probably to pay attention to this, was during the time when Kennedy was president, and you had what was going on with Cuba and the Koreans and that sort of, but we were all kind of young.
I was in the service then.
You were in the service, yeah.
With the Bear Pigs invasion and all that stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So you understood a little bit, but I don't even think you, because we didn't have the internet. We just saw what was in the newspaper.
You didn't have 13,000 news shows.
Right.
Yeah. So that they can discuss it all day long.
All day long.
So that's some of the reason why we're so connected. But you're right. I think, but the most, the memories that stick with us during those issues, the whatever was going, the Korean War, Vietnam, the bombing of Pearl Harbor, a photographer would take an amazing journalistic or a picture and it would just tell a story, right?
Absolutely. And which is what we have now. I mean, I just got buku's pictures of individuals in this community.
Right. And you tell a lot of stories,
I cover them.
And
I cover them.
Yeah, well, your images that you capture, it tells a lot of story. Because for some of us who weren't there, when we saw it, we're going, oh, wow. Then we start imagining, like the photo you have with Barry Gordy.
Right.
It's like... I'm just thinking, I'm going, wow, I wonder what it's like to be there with that guy, taking a picture with him.
I'm from Detroit.
Yeah.
So Barry was like an idol.
Yeah.
I mean, I bought his book, To Be Loved, a long time ago. He even autographed it for me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like people ask me, it's amazing to be in the presence of these individuals.
Yeah.
And you see them in another light.
Yeah.
It's like, as being a human being.
Yeah. You got pictures with Smokey Robinson and the Miracles.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out what it was like to even talk to that guy, because you see him all the time on the screen, he's singing, he's performing, and then just to have a conversation with him, just to see how he thinks.
Smokey, all of these guys, to me, are beautiful individuals, particularly, and they have a lot to give and they have given to the world.
Yes.
I mean, I got pictures with Muhammad, as well.
See, you were our representative. You were there representing us because you get to talk to them. You get to, rub shoulders while we're on the sideline going, wow, we wish we could be you there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, see, that's part of what I'm saying is, a lot of times we don't take the initiative to find out about these individuals. You take it, you let someone else report it to you. But it's like, I mean, just looking at pictures with Muhammad, I mean, you see Mr. Gar.
Yeah.
I mean, O.C. Smith.
Yeah.
I mean, you see people, Muhammad interfacing with all these individuals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that allows you, as being a part of it, you meet these individuals too. One year he did the publishers. So all the people that own magazines and newspapers in the L.A. area, Melanie Polk. I worked with Melanie for over 10 years. That was like, that was a great experience because I was a staff photographer. Yeah. So I would do 8 or 9 things a week.
Right.
And people think you'd be everywhere. I said, yeah, but you got to be there to see me.
Yeah.
We talked about that the other day.
Right, exactly. You had to be there, but it is, and that's actually is kind of sad because our funding has diminished where we can't do our awards luncheon or our dinner. And at that time, when we were bringing in industries of individuals, so you actually saw and met the movers and the shakers in Los Angeles.
Yeah. Well, I think now what you hit upon is a good note. Our organizations, we have to, look, if you're going to thrive, you got to support and nourish your own organization. You just can't keep running. Look, the banks, they're not caring.
No.
They're not caring. I mean, a lot of funding has gone by the wayside. So, so therefore in itself, as a photographer or as a producer, I mean, a lot of the funding that used to be available is not available, so you have to get real creative. Now, let me preface it with this. I started out with the company a long time ago in New York. I had Rod Mack Ventures, and then in Seattle I started actually the Fox Follies brand.
Okay.
And we did shows and et cetera, but now I'm Fox Media. And to understand the depth of the word media and how much it covers, okay? So what has happened is the funding has dried up, but the other avenues are available to us if we take advantage of them, like we're doing here yesterday. The other day we did television. Today we're doing radio. You know, and when we start supporting each other and supporting each other's products and supporting each other's business and come together as a unit, as opposed to being little individual guys.
Right.
You know, you can't fight City Hall by yourself.
No, you cannot. You need to be a cohesive.
Absolutely.
It's like a chain.
Absolutely.
If the links are strong, you can't break the chain, right? But if you got a weak link, then
the chain is only as strong as its weakest link.
That's
right, exactly.
So you have to strengthen it up. So all of these things, I mean, as we talk about doing different things in the entertainment business. I mean, you got writers, you got producers, you got directors, you got performers. Well, first of all, when we first got involved, we were all wanted to be seen. You didn't realize that there was somebody that was filming this stuff. Somebody was holding up cue cards. Somebody was building the set. Somebody was doing the costume. There's an enormous amount of jobs that are available in this industry.
Right.
If you take a look and find out what's going on, everybody can't be up front.
Right.
It's like there's only one president, but wow, what a staff.
Right, exactly.
You know, there's only one Muhammad, but he had a staff.
Right.
You and Jackie B are carrying it on. And a few other organizations. I see Danny Bakewell is one. He's got his family involved. You know, Mark Ridley Thomas has had his son involved. So you're seeing things being repetitive and seeing things happening. I particularly like what I see happening here in Los Angeles. This community, I think this is the baddest community, bad meaning good. Because there are a lot of diverse individuals involved in a lot of facets of the city administration, big businesses, banks, and all that kind of stuff. And these people are available if we do our due diligence and find out how to get everything together. You know, I can't do shows without somebody helping me put them together and an audience.
Right.
We are supporting others more so than we're supporting ourselves.
Exactly.
But at the same time, it's creative. This internet thing has created so much, you know, that we just have to learn how to take advantage of it to make things like books and to make things like films and to make businesses be relevant to us. You know what I'm saying? We're spending and we're not getting any bang for our buck.
Exactly. And, you know, there are certain areas that we've been limited in, but we don't have to, especially in your craft, because with the internet, you have Hulu, you have all these independent individuals where you actually could go sell your treatment to, and they will put you on television. You don't have to go through Sony and DreamWorks and all those places.
What happens ultimately is Sony and all that, they buy all them things up.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, eventually.
They buy them up. Now, I'm glad you said that. I remember when HBO was the new kid in the block.
Yeah.
I mean, since I've been in Los Angeles. And they started broadcasting old shows.
Yeah, they did.
That for their revenue.
Right.
Okay. And so now, like, HBO is like, wow.
Right. And all of them have original content.
Absolutely.
Everybody has original content.
You just brought up a good point there that got me thinking about you and the history, the value that you bring to the marketplace and this industry. Now, as you know, Netflix, they're content driven.
Absolutely.
So no longer do you have to have a lot of money, be rich, run a studio to produce a movie and get it out there. Now you can produce your own movie and market it to Netflix, and they will carry that for you and you get paid. So with what you've done, I'm thinking that you've got a lot of content. I think you could put that together.
And actually you should see its play. So there was a play that I attended. It was all male cast. And I think it was on
Hounds.
Was it Hounds? It was on cheating and that kind of stuff.
Yes.
You wrote it? You wrote and produced
it? No, I directed it.
He directed it. And it was...
Ken Davis wrote it.
From a male perspective on how they had messed up a relationship.
Right.
And now they were having... So it was little vignettes, right?
Yes.
Within a play environment.
Right.
That's when I realized... Whoa, this man is more
talented.
He's more than a photographer. Because I had never been to any of your plays.
Photography is my last frontier, and that's been the last 20 years. I mean, but I started on stage like in 1968.
And then you do something else on the Buffalo Soldiers. I remember reading. I went to a reading for there.
We were trying to get that off the ground. I thought it was a very good project because most of us don't know who the Buffalo Soldiers are, or what they did. I mean, the Buffalo Soldiers responsible for clearing out the West for the white man fighting the red man.
They still don't.
Okay. Yeah, and it was a powerful. I mean, I didn't even see the play part. I was there just for them to do the reading. I think you guys did it during Black History Month, and I was like, oh my! And I mean, just celebrities, some major celebrities were there.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, that's part of it. I mean, in this whole thing now is people will come if you have someone they're familiar with, particularly.
Right.
Now, what helps a lot, if you're Tyler Perry, you put your name above the title and people come because you're Tyler Perry.
Yeah. Right.
But if you're Ian Foxx, they'll come because you got David or
you
somebody.
You still got that celebrity name, though, that Ian Foxx celebrity name.
Yeah.
Right. And then you had Tommy Ford.
Oh, my
man.
Yes.
And I think I've seen a couple of his plays.
Yeah. Tommy Ford. I met Tommy Ford back when Inner City Culture Center was alive.
Yeah.
And we did a play. We did some play readings, and Tommy was like a student at SC.
Yes.
And he remained my friend up until his untimely departure.
Oh, he died?
Tommy died about a year ago.
I did not know that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Young man, 50-something years old. I mean, a beautiful, beautiful spirit. So
he was 50?
He was like 54, 53, 54.
Wow. I thought he was late 30s, 40s or something.
He's just a...
good black don't crack.
Yeah.
There's actually a young lady in the mall, Westfield Mall.
Yeah.
She actually patented it.
That's
good
great.
Good black don't crack.
That's smart.
And she has a kiosk. She has a kiosk, and she's selling T-shirts.
That is smart, bro.
Well, he's gonna be 75. Good black don't crack.
Wow.
I mean, all this stuff sneaks up on you. Because when you're having a good time, liking what you're doing, meeting people and stuff, they're down parts, but they don't last long.
So going back to what I asked you earlier, have you thought of marketing your content to Netflix?
I've thought of marketing it to everybody, but I've also thought of marketing myself. Look, this is something I did in 1979. This author here, Herbert Simmons, he came and he was a mentor.
Yeah.
We did this from concept to completion. He wrote it, we made a movie out of it, we packaged, made a DVD out of it, and we distributed it. So I know the power that can happen. We had this in over 300 stores.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And this is Herbert Simmons, the Corner Boy.
Corner Boy.
And
so you can repurpose it then.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's something else that you want to do again. I mean, like you regenerate stuff and do it over again. I mean, I like to do it with a brand new cast.
I'm just throwing out ideas out there because I see you having some valuable resources here that the masses don't know much about.
Well, this is our task, to get our product out to the masses.
Right.
Okay? Mm-hmm. But you got to understand, this is not a empty freeway. This is like, the business is just like going down the freeway. Everybody's got something.
Yeah. Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So it's all about making a deal.
Yeah.
And it's also about trying to keep as much of what you got for yourself.
Yeah.
Because once you go to Netflix and you do something with them, it's usually not yours anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So we put a lot of value on what you see, but we don't put a lot of value on ownership.
Yeah.
So where I'm at now is, I mean, like, I'm way too old to start at the bottom and be discovered.
Yeah.
Right.
So, okay.
Yeah.
So, and most of us are. So it's all about learning how to generate and be in the business of show and not being in the show of the business.
Yeah.
Let me ask that on that same note. Let me ask this question. So, year after year after year, we're always the community or the network of black people that are in the business. We're always complaining that we're not represented at the award show. So, and I understand we have BET. But why? Because we're a large part of that entertainment industry. Why would I understand why we wouldn't support it, but could there be an award show that would be on that same level, but to honor us?
Well,
and I guess we have the NAACP awards.
Well, I mean, it's like this. Okay, I'm hearing you. It's like, look, that's their Oscars.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's theirs. Why do we not have our own Oscars?
Well, I mean, we do. I mean, look, first of all, if you're waiting on someone else to congratulate you,
right?
Okay, for what you do, for what you love to do, then you're in this business for the wrong reason.
You're right.
Okay. I mean, okay, so but it's like it's a business.
Yes.
Somebody owns this business, and you got some other people trying to get a piece of this business.
Right.
The people who own the business gonna keep you suppressed.
Yeah.
Look, if you you mentioned something about the lion, you got a certain part of the jungle is yours.
Yeah.
When somebody come in your part of the jungle, you got to fight.
Yeah.
You just don't walk over there and say, "Hey, you got some nice grass over here." I think I'm gonna
That's my territory. Right. My turf, right?
So first of all, one of the first things we have to do is be worth something to someone.
Okay.
Okay. So this is a business. Mm-hmm. Look, Denzel is Denzel because Denzel puts butts in the seats.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, there's a young lady out here now who's talking about not getting paid, but she ain't putting no butts in the seats for a while.
Right.
So it's screwed up, yes, but that doesn't mean you give up and you take your marbles and go home.
Yeah. Right.
We come to compete.
Right.
Like Jesse Jackson says, look, if the playing field is even, everybody has a chance.
Right.
Okay? But now, some people are going to keep the playing field uneven.
Oh, they do that purposely, right?
Of course
It's part of the competition, isn't it?
Look.
That's a very good point you brought up, and I want you to continue on that trend. We're at the top of the hour, so let's go ahead and take a quick break right now, but we'll be definitely right back. Hold that thought. Don't leave it at all. You're on the Business Zone
meet
with
Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
Each year, the state of California contracts for billions of dollars of goods and services. We as a state can and should leverage our spending power to achieve policy goals that help the people of California. One major policy goal we have is to create jobs and grow our state economy. Promoting the development of small businesses within California is a great way for us to do that, because California small businesses are the engine of economic growth. 95% of companies in California are small businesses, and with the right opportunities, these small businesses can grow to become the next Apple, Netflix, or Tesla. So let's all do our part to promote small business development and grow our state economy. Together, we can really make
So we're back on the Business Zone with
Krista
and Gilbert Buchanan, and we've got a very special guest in our studios today, a legend in the movie, filming, photography industry, Mr. Ian Foxx. And we were just having some great conversations here about the history of movie filming, and he's got a book out called Heroes and Legends. Heroes and Legends right here, as you can see. It's an amazing book. And Crystal was just having a great conversation with Mr. Foxx, and we're just loving this conversation. So,
well, and some of it is because this book, Hero and Legends, it kind of is a collection of memories of pictures taken of celebrities in our industry. And we were having, during the break, a conversation on how do we, as Ian had said before we went to break, we're waiting for someone else to celebrate our greatness and to tell our story. When we can tell our own story, we can uplift those in our community that are great and to recognize them and create our own data bank of stories and awards. So, but just because the Oscars is what they deemed as you being at the top of your game, that's not necessarily so. I think it's better if you were being acknowledged about the community of which you're telling their stories, the NCCC Awards and all of the award shows, that you see us when you go in there, everybody in there. And while you're everybody in there, that is saying you are the best in the country in our industry that look like you and I, right? Or it should be.
It should be. Well, look,
but I guess it's not significant enough, right?
Look, personally, there are projects that receive accolades. I don't like them.
Because it's based upon, as somebody once said.
Well, for instance, there was some. Okay, I don't want to even get to that because it's political. But let's get to the business part of the thing. This is the
right, and that's
business.
There's a business,
that's what we're talking about. Okay. We have to accept this is show business.
Right.
This is not show history, show black. It's show business.
Show business.
Okay. So it's all about generating revenue.
Yeah.
Because the motion picture is an industry. They are not there specifically to tell. That's not their job to tell your story. They're making money. Now, if you can tell a story that's entertaining and profitable, you can go a long way. And you find your audience. That's how being in business is. You find your audience. Yeah. Okay? We have to embellish our audience and learn how to be in business. Yeah. Because one of the things that's always going to happen to you is someone else is going to own your stuff. Okay? Yeah. I mean, like, I was a part of a franchise called Penitentiary. The movie, Jamal Fanaka
with
Leon Isaac Kennedy.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Leon was in it. Yeah.
Oh, they did like 3.
Oh yeah, I went to Cannes with that. Oh, I had a love scene. Oh baby.
Oh my God, I didn't know that. I have to go back and watch that this weekend.
So I mean, that is okay. I take Jamal Fanaka. I met Jamal while he was a student at UCLA, and I had just come down here from Seattle, and I had a theater over here on Slauson Avenue. But anyway, Jamal wrote this film. He was a student. Jamal was from Compton. Yeah. Jamal graduated summa cum laude.
Wow.
Okay. This brother was bad.
Yeah.
Okay. So he wrote, directed, produced his own film, which was the highest grossing film in the 80s.
Really?
The highest grossing independent. I mean, went to New York, Raggedy came back, bought a Rolls Royce. I mean,
Raggedy came back.
But now, one of the things was, it was difficult for him to get another movie made because they wouldn't fund him unless he gave up
certain rights, equity.
In other words, they wanted to own the name Penitentiary and all the films behind it. Yeah. He didn't want to do that. Yeah. So that's one of the things that happen when you strike a deal. Yeah. Okay? So now you got to do business with someone.
Yeah.
Okay? And you want to get paid as much as possible. I think what we all have to do is learn the business. It's not. That's one of the things that I find so enlightening when you begin to be a producer. Well, you are in business because you put these components together. Okay, so you want to learn how to put these components together. Now, the next step is learn how to distribute it and exhibit it. Okay, this is where all of these new tools come in now. You got the internet, you got Hulu, you got all this stuff, right? But you have to learn how to do business, and you have to be persistent, okay? I mean, let's take, for instance, all three of us got a script. Everybody might not get it done, but who's persistent and learns more about the business and how to get along with people, even if you don't like them, okay? Yeah. So what we're faced with is learning the business of entertainment. Yeah. Just like you're faced with learning the business of whatever your
small biz pro.
Small, okay,
right here.
Right. Okay. But now that's small biz. Okay. But now, like, you have to be able to define that and make that people understand exactly what that means. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's like, for instance, first of all, you need a product. Okay. You get a product, you put it together, and then you want to get it out there to who you want to get out to. So you're looking for distribution. Yeah. Right. Okay. Now, I found out with this product, we had it in stores in the community. Now, I might not get Tyler Perry money or the big studio money, but you can make money. Oscar Michaud was doing this in the 100 years ago. A black man, Oscar Michaud, was doing this.
Wow, that's a black history. So
okay.
Yeah, some black
Oscar
history
Michaud
right there.
would take his movies and go around the countryside, find an empty lot, put up a sheet, and show his movies.
Wow.
Okay? Across the country.
Wow. So he wasn't worried about whether somebody wanted to pick up his. He created it himself.
If you love this thing here, you find ways to make it happen. Yeah. Right. You might not get a lot of money initially. I mean, but like.
And you could, because one of the people, and Jackie, my co-director of Recycling Black Dollars, we just had this conversation, was Byron Allen. Just quiet, but he's one of the biggest TV producers working today. Over $300 million, but he was a comedian. He wasn't all that funny. Yeah. He went to school with my brother at Fairfax High, just kind of nerdy looking. Yeah. But the man has been quietly doing his own little thing. Well, in the industry.
They tried to keep, the industry tried to keep him out because they didn't want to distribute his product. He had a lawsuit.
Yeah, because he had a lawsuit, right?
He won so much money they can't even tell you how much it was. But now his shows are no, but seriously. But it was but being persistent. But what he did, some of the things he did, he created his programming and put it on late at night when very few people was looking. Yeah. So you build a brand.
Yeah. You can't stop at the top.
Okay. No. So too many times we want to start at the beginning. Yeah. It's like running around and talking about the Oscar. And what do it mean? Right. I mean, okay, look. Denzel gets an Oscar for being a dirty cop, but he don't get it for being a daddy. Yeah. So you can dispel that rumor. I mean, you can dispel that thinking that Hollywood is, you understand what I'm saying?
So it's okay giving you an Oscar if you're depicting a character that shows you not in your best light, right?
Let me tell you something. One of the first things you learn when you get to film school, films are the highest degree of propaganda. Yeah.
Well, you see that.
Yeah. Okay? Yeah. So that's what it's all for. It's shaping minds.
Right.
Okay? It's shaping minds. Okay? So we're making propaganda. Okay? So you have to understand what it is you're involved with. Okay? So that's not a negative.
No. You're absolutely right.
Because look, it's one of the most cheapest exports that we got in the country because you don't need no resources. You don't have to grow nothing.
No.
You don't have to water it. You don't have to crop it or anything. It's just you got to come up with some ideas and some concepts. Right. Exactly. And then you embellish it on those concepts. Yeah. Right? We got a little girl right now that's kicking butt, Issa Rae. Come through the web series kind of thing, like a brother named Michael Jackway. There are methods, that you can be involved with and that you will be involved with. You can look at people Tyler Perry, he found his audience. He did plays. He took his little plays. Tyler Perry said the first play he went, he spent all his money and didn't nobody even come.
Yeah. He said
I know that feeling.
Yeah. And because somebody asked him, was he going to continue on that series? Medea.
Yeah.
He said, Medea pays.
Yeah.
Why would I stop something that's paying?
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful. Absolutely.
Yeah. Right.
But, and Medea ain't nobody but everybody's big mama.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So he said it pays.
Look, where I come from, where we come from, everybody got a big mama.
Everybody knows
Big
Medea.
mama sitting right in the middle of the house and running.
You can identify with that person.
So what happens is he found an audience.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That loves him. Mm-hmm. So Tyler Perry doesn't just do Tyler Perry stuff.
Yeah.
And so everybody, and as you said, it's a business. So just like when Gilbert and I talk about business, and show business or any other industry is no different. Who are your demographics, and what are you trying to tell them?
Absolutely.
And continuing to be consistent and committed to it.
Absolutely.
And keep building on it.
Absolutely.
Keep growing on it.
Absolutely.
And understanding when your demographics change, can you change with them? Or do you need to reach down below them to be able to bring others to you?
Your audience is going to tell you where you at.
Right, exactly. They're your temperature. They're your gauge, right?
I can remember the first show I was involved with in New York. It was a play called The Black Experience, right?
Uh-huh.
And now this was the 60s, right? We used to go around colleges being black. So I'm black and proud. I'm loud and down.
Right.
All this stuff, right? And it's amazing. The audience would tell you what your key words are in your story. They would define you. You know, you just lay it out there and they'll tell you who you are.
Right.
You know, and I found it to be very enlightening. I mean, we was doing colleges, man, back in the 60s, man. We'd be getting...
Actually, your college would be the one, be a great tester ground, your great survey, because they're very honest, they're very straightforward, what they like, what they don't like, right? They're great focus groups for that. Yeah. But again, a lot of people, you're waiting for someone else to define your greatness or what greatness means to you and to them.
Well, it's like, okay, there you go. Sometimes we're waiting on them to define us. But you see, that's where you're open. It's like once you put it's like being a baseball player. You know, like once you get in the game, you define, you know, whether you can hit the curveball, that defines whether you're a baseball player or not. If you can't hit the curve, you ain't going too far. Right?
Exactly.
Okay, so in this business, if you can't adapt and hit the curve, then you won't last a long time. You know, you got to find out where your strength is. It takes a long time to even understand that everybody can't be a leading man. You know, particularly on stage. You know why?
Why?
Because the leading man has to be taller than everybody else.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh.
So
how do we explain Al Pacino in Robert De Niro?
That's film. He said theater.
He's in the movies.
Oh.
So what they do is
they prop him up a little bit. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of things in this. Look, you height is a level of authority. Just like why you think the judge sit up there? Because he's the boss. He look down at you. You look up at the judge. That's a position of power.
Yeah.
Okay. So you do your plays and your performances. You use that same formula. Even when you do a story, there's only 8 things that it can be about: good and bad, fat and skinny, black and white, rich and poor, life and death, love and hate.
Okay.
And there's one more, sun and rain or whatever.
Okay.
Joy and pain.
I don't care what you do. It's all got to have those components.
Right.
So you have to be able to communicate with people, to your audience.
Now, would you say, because that's a good point. So let's say the entertainment business 20, 30 years ago, and that they're still very relevant today. Gladys Knight. Well,
those are legends.
They're legends, right? So no matter what they do.
Well, they've endured.
They're endured, but even today, even the young people know their music, right? So the
young people should know their music.
They should know their music.
They're sampling their songs.
They're sampling their songs, but there are certain people, no matter how old, Smokey Robinson, these are legends, but their music is still very relevant.
Well, the demographic,
because it's still connecting.
I mean, like, look, before the '60s. It wasn't like Motown created some stuff. I mean, it was like 15, 20, I don't know how many groups they were right there. So we got people now who can identify with them.
Right.
Right? So, I mean, Smokey, they still got an audience.
Right. Yeah.
So that makes them relevant.
Young and old.
Young and old.
Yeah.
You know, the old folks, we grew up with it, and some of our kids played it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what makes legacies. That's what generates knowledge and makes us what he said, relevant in this whole thing.
Yeah, and who we are, and that because there are certain I can't even think of his name, and I absolutely love him. Whereas the white baseball cap comes every year. Not Love and Happiness. That's Al Green.
Talking about Frankie Beverly?
Yeah, Frankie Beverly.
Yeah.
Frankie Beverly comes every year to every place across the country. He does the same concert. I've been to 5 of them. Been right there in the front. Same song.
Joy and Pain.
Joy and Pain. He ain't made a new record in what?
Years.
Years beyond like 50 years.
It's nostalgia. It takes you to that space.
I'll tell you something.
And he fills up the concert halls every time he goes. Wherever he goes,
he's got fans.
He's got fans.
Snoop Dogg got fans.
Right, exactly.
Look, I was in a tobacco store the other day. Snoop got some of this new smoky stuff in there.
Oh, I'm gonna do one better than that. If you are in, I used to, a real good friend of mine, and I did his management of his gas station, and we would go to the merchandise stores where you buy your products, right? So there's one right there, Jethro's, right there on Adams. Mm-hmm. And when you go in the back to buy your cigarettes, there is a big billboard, must be about 7 feet tall, with a Snoop Dogg and Blackie Miles. He is in Jethro's. The man is famous in Jethro's.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. He's got stuff going. So what you guys are saying, I mean, just being a part of the Business Zone is very important because by being a business individual, I need to be embellished and I need to learn everything continuously about how to be in business, how to stay in business, and how to be more relevant in business.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. So one of the things that we were talking about the other week when we come up with the book was, okay, now you got the book. Now you got to market the book.
Right.
I got to find that market. I got to find them people that like Frankie Beverly and Smokey and stuff every year.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be able to. And I think that's a great point, Ian, is because a lot of people write books or author books. Mm-hmm. And and we've had several authors here on the show, and they've said Walter Tucker, he took him 20 years to write his book, but he finally found the message when he went to jail and came back out. So the other authors that we've had, so it's taken them 17, 18, 19 years to write the book. Mm-hmm. But when they wrote the book, now how do I get the book sold?
So yeah, I mean that's like when you get a write a play. How do you sell it? But let me piggyback on that with the book here. This Heroes.
No, that's okay.
Okay, Heroes and Legends Awards. This is a collection of 28 years of memories. Now, Heroes and Legends is a foundation that was set up by Janie Bradford, alumni of Motown, to give back to young people who wanted to have careers in the arts. Mm-hmm. And the thing was that at the time when she did this, there was very few opportunities for people who wanted to be in the arts to receive scholarships or know how to get funding to know how to go and be a part of it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is what this book is about. It's about these celebrities, but what happens with these celebrities? These are people over 28 years who have come back to give. Mm-hmm. To giving back. They come and participate in Heroes and Legends. And young people, there's been hundreds of people Janie has been able to send to school through these events that she has every year.
Okay.
So Barry comes every year, Smokey comes most of the time.
So it's actually an award ceremony.
It's an award ceremony. Honorees have included Barry's, Quincy Jones, the Temptations, Mary Wilson, Claudette, Martha and the Vandellas, Chaka Khan, Ray Parker. I mean, just a slew of performers. Mm-hmm. I mean, it goes back, I think Janie started in 90, so I mean, you've got Lou Gossett in here, and all these people who have come back to give to these young people, to give them an opportunity to be a part of this industry.
Oh,
so
okay.
that they can go on. So this is a form of mentoring. And this is how I got involved, because I wasn't involved with Motown when I was a kid, but this gives me a chance to rub around with Barry Gordy and all the people now. You understand what I'm saying? So
right. Legends.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, and I mean, like, I come up with this stuff, and it's amazing to see these people still being relevant. Mm-hmm. We're good at their craft. I mean, we lose a few and da-da-da-da-da. Mm-hmm. But this whole thing, this whole premise here is to generate funding so that young people can find out how to be in the entertainment business. Yeah.
Okay, that's fantastic, and they need that, because now that's what we talked about at the very top part of the hour was how do you reach back to bring those others up, sharing in and understanding your experience. Right. They will create their own experience, but there's no reason for them to duplicate what you've already had.
Well, you take what someone has given you and take it to another level.
To another level, exactly.
And at the same time, you have a bunch of different voices that can also give you different philosophies. I mean, you can talk to me, you can talk to Smokey. You ask Smokey a couple of questions. You can ask Barry a couple of questions. You can ask Ray Parker Jr., who's a Ghostbusters and all that stuff. So these are songwriters. These are musicians. These are designers. These are...
Yeah, so some of them actually have broken color barriers and color lines in order to make it where they are, right?
Absolutely.
And they've had those experiences based upon that.
Based upon all of that.
And Barry, I know I saw Motown last year when it came, the Motown Review when it came. I mean, and it did a depiction from the time he first started and what was going on in the world at the time. So when you were listening to certain songs, you were hearing in the 60s when we were fighting in Vietnam, when we war, right?
Yeah.
War. And
all
in fact,
confusion.
all of those songs by Curtis Mayfield and all of them, that was when they were at their biggest. And you listen, you go back now, you're going like, wow, that's very relevant right today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was the conscience of young America. That's what they used to call it.
Yeah.
You know? But don't forget now, when Barry and them started smoking, they started writing love songs.
They did. They started with love songs, and that's what the play was about, was the history of when he and Diana Ross got together and what was going on. But there were certain artists that he had that were very revolutionary. Marvin Gaye.
Absolutely.
They were singing about...
I'd love to see a musical of what's going on. Baddest album ever. Baddest album ever.
Yeah.
I mean, I think. You know.
Well, but it was all about what was going on today. Absolutely. And that's what we talked about. Music and the entertainment business replicates what's going on in your world today.
Yeah, today. Right. Absolutely.
And just as pictures are 1,000 words, and it's telling you and depicting what happened during that time when you weren't there. And that's why it's so important that you guys are here. Absolutely. Because you tell our history and our story in very creative ways. And I actually like the direction that Hollywood is going in, is because when you can't speak, but you can use a vehicle that you guys are creating and get a message to us via entertainment, but inside, as you're listening quietly, there's a message behind it. One of the things, I had a conversation with someone. I was at a Power Network conference in Baltimore last year, and we were talking about empire. And, you know, if you're not consciously there, you think that empire shows the worst side of black people. But it doesn't. Because if you understand business... and you understand, one, I have to give them, because you say you got to get your product out there. So I have to give them a little bit of what they're looking for, right? But I have to be able to say my message why I'm doing that. Yeah. So the one thing, when you look at a broader picture of empire, Cookie stands behind her man. She went to jail for her man. And her man took care of her children while she was in prison. Then they came together and they built an empire, and that empire is for her children.
Well, see, if you just take just the name, empire, it takes all of that to comprise an empire. The highs, the lows, the negatives, the positives, all of that.
And you ain't always good when you're building an empire. Yeah. You got to do some stuff, because you got to get what you're trying to do.
If you're trying to build an empire, that means some people are going to get stepped on.
Exactly. You know and there's going to be competition. But if you look at her husband, he is always thinking the bigger picture. He's always thinking bigger, broader. How can I build
he's thinking business.
He's thinking business.
Yeah. Yes. All of his decisions are predicated on business. I mean, you may not like it.
But it's business.
But business, that's what business is.
Right. And you got to have a little edge for you when you're in this entertainment business because
you in any business.
folks will walk over you.
If you in business, you got to be in business.
But and there's a difference between business where you like hustling out the back seat of the car and being in structure.
But hustling out the back seat of the car, where you think Jay-Z and them come from?
Yeah.
Where you think hip hop come from? Out the car.
Out the car, right?
Well, movies come out of moviola machines. Way back in the day, you used to go in there and crank them.
Right.
There wasn't always these big old screens and all this Hollywood stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
If you know the business. How did they get to California? Why did they come to California? Because it didn't rain out here. You couldn't do it in New York. So
24/7, right? 365 days.
So you do things according to business. Mm-hmm. But you got to learn what business is it that you're in.
Yeah, so fortunately we're there again. Or unfortunately, I should say. But this is just interesting. I'm just eating this all up. Yeah. And whenever you see me quiet, my mind is going. I'm here processing some stuff, and
it's good to talk about the backside of what we see on the screen or what have you, and then talk about the business level, because everything is, like you said, everything's a business.
Everything's a business.
And you're either good at the business piece.
Yes.
Or you're good at the entertainment piece, but you got to some way learn how to blend the business.
Find what your calling is.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
So we're going to take a break.
Yes,
and then we're going to come back and we'll close out. And Ian, and you're just such an amazing
wealth of knowledge.
I know. Huh?
This is an encyclopedia right here. So we're going to go ahead and take a break, and we'll be right back.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
Each year, the state of California contracts for billions of dollars of goods and services. We as a state can and should leverage our spending power to achieve policy goals that help the people of California. One major policy goal we have is to create jobs and grow our state economy. Promoting the development of small businesses within California is a great way for us to do that, because California small businesses are the engine of economic growth. 95% of companies in California are small businesses, and with the right opportunities, these small businesses can grow to become the next Apple, Netflix, or Tesla. So let's all do our part to promote small business development and grow our state economy. Together, we can really make.
So we're back on the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic, along with our special guest, Mr. Ian Foxx, legendary Mr. Foxx. And he's got his book called Heroes and Legends, and we really want to give you an opportunity to go out and get this book. This book is phenomenal. It's got some great pictures and stories and information in here. And Crystal, you've got some information for our audience.
Right. So if you would love to purchase this book, and it's for a great cause. It's called the Heroes and Legends Award, a collection of memories, 28 years of photos of the entertainment world and all the talented people. So you can get it at Legends at Mountain Goat Press. You can call 310-274-1609, 1609, and Legends and at AOL.com. And you can also go to foxmediagroup.com. LLC, but the website is actually foxmediagroup.com. And you can reach out and get the book there. And then Ian, you and I will sit down so we can make it even more accessible to the world, because they need to see this beautiful book. With all of, and also if you're looking to and want to know what's going on in the city of Los Angeles, you need to go over to foxmedia.smugmug.com, and you will all see some more incredible pictures. Recycle Black Dollars in there. Ian does our breakfast mixer every. Okay. Ian takes the photos of our breakfast mixer every month, but a whole lot of other people, Glack and you name it, whoever's out there. And you can reach Ian at 213-265-7415 at ifoxmedia@gmail.com. And if you have a kid or someone trying to get into the industry, reach out to Ian, because he also has a foundation or a program, nonprofit organization.
Fox Follies Theater Workshop.
Fox Folly Theater Workshop. And you guys introduce the entertainment in the world, and photography and videography and
whatever it is in entertainment. If we make money, we learn how to do it.
Okay, so and then you guys can reach back to us. Ian, we will make this video available to you, and in the description box, I'll make sure all the information is there. Does that work for you? Okay, and then we're going to get your book really sold. And somebody is really loving you, I think, is Fortitude Ford. He's doing all hearts and loves on Facebook Live. So thank you so much. I know you got to run. Danny Bakewell, something. You going to take some more pictures?
Yes, I'm going to take some pictures down at the JW Marriott, Praise the Lord.
Okay, well, fantastic. So
it's keeping you fat.
Now.
Yeah,
that's more business.
Because this is business.
That's right.
Photography is the meat, the butter, the bread and butter.
That's
right?
what I do every day.
Yeah. Okay.
The other stuff I'm just practicing.
And we also need to talk about getting your infrastructure the way you want it.
Absolutely.
Get you set up.
You can't grow if you ain't got a foundation.
That's right.
Okay, so we will help you get that foundation. I'll help you create a marketing plan for your book, and
absolutely,
we can get it sold. And we didn't even get to talk about the other book from Africa, but we'll have you back on.
We'll do that.
We'll have you in Black History Month.
We're going to talk. At some point, I want you to talk to Nigel Benz, who's the creator of The Mother of Humanity.
Oh, I'd love to have him on the show.
Great. We're trying to raise about $125 million to build it in Africa. Okay.
Okay. Well, then
that's
we need
more
to have
business.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about.
And let me just add this: for those of you who have not been to Africa, you need to go home.
Okay.
Because they are waiting on us.
Yes.
And they have resources.
Yeah.
So if you're mad at the way they do business here, go somewhere else.
Yeah. Right. Actually, right now, a number of them have said that if we're ready to leave, they're waiting there with open arms. We can just come on home. All the countries are saying, I feel sorry for you guys. Get your passports.
Look, we got skills.
Right, we do.
So we can take our skills anywhere.
That's right.
And get paid.
Universal skills.
And what's the cliche? Be careful what you ask for, America. If you want us to go, let all the people of color leave, and let's see what you got going on then.
Trump talking a lot of stuff, but he ain't talking about sending no African Americans. He ain't talking about sending us home.
Oh no, we're gonna stay. They want us to stay back. That's why they're trying to deport everybody. They want us to stay so that we can go back into slavery. In fact, there was a woman that on Facebook last night or 2 days ago, she did something on one of her social medias, and she says, so does that mean Trump is going to bring slavery back? I could use a maid. She was a doctor.
Okay. Okay.
You got to think broad. I know. Gilbert is like, oh my gosh, it's just too much. But there's a master plan, always have been.
That's right. But I love that the concept of doing business with the African countries. There are 54 of them. I mean, there are millions of entrepreneurs there waiting for us.
And look in Nigeria, the Norwood, I think they call it. Yeah. And all of those Ghana, there's some amazing filmmakers there.
Yes.
Nollywood, right.
Yeah.
And then in Bollywood, there's amazing. In India, I watch I love international. And now the Korean marketplace is huge.
Yes.
The Chinese I watch their movies every weekend. I do binge.
Look, the Chinese ain't stupid.
No.
They in Africa.
Oh, yeah.
Of course
They're
are.
in Jamaica.
Okay.
They're in Jamaica.
So it's like, look, we got alternatives, y'all.
Right. And if they don't, and he over here talking about we're going to be in solidarity in America, they're like, you know what? There's a whole bigger world. They operate like the world is flat and you can't get to any other place.
There will be no business done without the Afro-American who built this country and continue to contribute to this country.
Yeah.
Don't let them fool you, baby. Don't let them trick you. Don't let them tell you that stupid stuff.
So, Ian, you going to keep letting everybody know our history and writing it and documenting it.
Trust me. I got a play coming, y'all. It's called Red, White, and Blues. Lift Up.
Okay.
It traces the history of the African-American and his contributions to the world from Africa to now.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. Well, we'd love to hear it. So don't take our headphones.
Thank you, Gilbert. Thank you.
Thank you.
And so we'll get this to you, and you can use this to market. It's on YouTube, so once it gets up, we'll send it over to you. And
that's part of our package.
That's part of the package, dude.
See, y'all, we taking care of business.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir. Gilbert, look, you got to watch this Gilbert, brother. Gilbert's all right, brother.
Thank you.
Well, we're glad and thank you. It's been an honor talking to you
Pleasure.
and learning more about you.
Definitely.
And I would imagine there will be people in the community that don't know half the depth of you. Because you're always the man behind the camera. So they don't know how. So they're going to get a little taste of who Ian Foxx is.
It's fun. Amen.
Okay.
Amen.
So you still could be famous at 75.
Please. Look.
He's already famous.
He's famous. He's going to be more famous. We're going to make him a superstar.
I'm famous. Now I want to get paid.
Now, there you go. I like that.
We're all famous.
We're all famous, but we're the cheddar.
So I can't help the young folks if we don't get no cheddar.
That's right.
Exactly. So that's what we're going to do. Well, thank you, Ian. We appreciate it. We know you got to move on, and we will see you again very, very soon.
Very soon.
Okay.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on the Business Zone.
Thank
This
you.
is wonderful.
Be on
You
the
even
Business
kept
Zone.
Gilbert awake.
I know.
About 4 o'clock, you be ready to nod on out.
I should get up at 4.
Or don't go to sleep. All right, Gilbert.
All right. So do we want to go ahead and take a quick break?
Yeah, we'll take a little few second break and then we'll come back.
All right. Take a break.
Each year, the state of California contracts for billions of dollars of goods and services. We as a state can and should leverage our spending power to achieve policy goals that help the people of California. One major policy goal we have is to create jobs and grow our state economy. Promoting the development of small businesses within California is a great way for us to do that, because California small businesses are the engine of economic growth. 95% of companies in California are small businesses, and with the right opportunities, these small businesses can grow to become the next Apple, Netflix, or Tesla. So let's all do our part to promote small business development and grow our state economy. Together,
Hello, meet
we can
Larry.
really make-
Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop, and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet accessible
So we're
device.
back on the Business Zone. This was a great show,
That was
Crystal.
fun, wasn't it? I tell you, I've known Ian for a long time, and I never knew the depth of all. Well, about 4 years ago, and I went to a couple of his plays, and I went to, like I said, I went to the reading of the Buffalo Soldiers, and I was like, wow, I'm impressed. And that's what happens in our community. We don't see all of everyone's talents because we only see them in one capacity, and even to the point that people don't even know you have other talents or other skill sets or whatever, and because we operate in a silo.
I see him at these events all the time, and I didn't know all this stuff about him. So more power to you, my brother.
Yeah, so
Keep
now
on
you
doing
see him.
good
When you
work.
see him next time, you're going to like, oh, yeah. Now, I did know a little bit more because I knew he had been involved and been around when Muhammad was alive, and he was doing the photography, and he actually has a relationship with Recycling Black Dollars, and as I said, he's our staff photographer for whatever event that we've been doing. So
I think he has inspired me.
I know you got a creative side that you done shoved all the way down beyond the business side. But I know you have a creative side that you probably should bring back.
I'm gonna do that. I'm here listening, and I'm going, wow.
Right.
All these ideas coming to me. So,
but you have a new nickname. Felicia calls you Big. What is it? Big Money.
What's the nickname?
G-Money, because when you be blowing the Business Zone down the alley.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. G-Money.
So we'll have to have you record, that'd be some other residual streams of
That's
income,
what
right?
I'm talking
Record
about.
the Business Zone.
You know, I hear we can put it on Spotify. Is that true, Felicia?
Copyright.
Spotify. Trying to make some money
Make
on
your
this
jingle.
thing.
Well, you know, I don't know if you're probably not much of a TV watcher, but what was the show with Charlie Sheen and he's with
Is it Anger Management?
Yeah, no, not the one before that. The one that he's
2.5 Men.
2.5 Men.
Yeah.
Well, that's what he does for a living.
Jingle.
He writes jingles.
Yes.
That's what he does. That's why he makes big money
In real life.
No, that's what he does.
Oh, in the show.
In the show.
Yes,
so they
yes.
never ever talk about that.
Yeah.
But every now and then, if you were paying attention, he would go and write a jingle, and it would be for some commercial or whatever, and that's how he would make his money.
Yes.
Yeah, so you might want to maybe some reggae music and a little reggae beat.
That's what's going to happen. Who knows? I might be able to do the theme song for Felicia.
Because I know when I went to Jamaica, they put reggae to every song.
Oh, yeah. Anything you can think of, it's there. It's reggae. It's reggae-fied.
Reggae-fied. Yeah, so maybe there you go. So he put a
got my juices flowing.
A fire under your creative juices.
Oh, yeah. So I'm here thinking, I'm going, there's some revenues to be made there.
Yeah, I think so. You should never crush what passion you have.
That's true.
I mean, we have to make money, but I think it makes it is even better when you're also the gift that God gave you. Yeah. If you're living in your true purpose.
You got some talents there too.
Yeah, I got my talents. I don't sing.
We gotta unearth some of your talents, and
Well, actually, one of them, who a little did I know, was the platform to speak. And share, and then I do the teaching part.
Yes.
I think that's just part of my DNA. There's a lot of teachers in my family.
Yes. We got to get you in front of the microphone so you can start doing those speeches.
Yeah, so I would like to be. That's the goal. I got to get the book written. Yeah. So I got some ideas, and like you, probably the book is daunting only because there's so much information that we have. Yeah. For me, what do I narrow it down to so it's not redundant to what's already out there?
Well, I think what you can do is decide what story you want to tell.
Yeah.
What story do I want to tell and to whom? And from all the content that you have, you can go in and you can pick stuff and you can put
right,
it, you can
change
put them together.
Yeah. And I just noticed when I'm teaching today, I in class, we're doing the program with the young people at the game program.
Yeah.
So I was talking to the coordinator, and she said, "They just love you, Crystal."
Mm-hmm.
She says, and so, and she says, and they say she's so nice. Yeah. And I said, "Yeah, I am, but I know how to get them to where I need them to be."
Exactly.
And so she said, "Yeah, there was one of the young ladies. There's always a couple that's lacking, right?
Always.
And because this class has been shortened by 4 weeks, I got to squeeze that 4 weeks into 12 weeks into 8 weeks, right? So I don't have a lot of time. They ain't got a lot of time. So
That's
I told them the other day, some of them lackadaisical don't coming in. I said, if you not here, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You gonna miss it.
That's right.
And the whole idea is to make sure you're the last person leaving. If somebody got to lay off people, you want to be the last person. So you got to be good.
That's right.
The value proposition have to be there.
That's right.
So we, so I had two little laggers, and so finally, we got to our next project or our next practice set Monday, and I was like, and they were still over there lagging 2 behind. I said, you can forget those. We moved on. That's how life is. If you miss this train, then it's moving on. It's not waiting. It can't wait for you.
Can't be a
business can't wait for you.
That's right. It's not going to.
It's not going to wait. So Elizabeth says, "Wow, you nailed that one, didn't you?" And she says, "Yeah, because now they're starting, even in the other classes they're in, they're engaging better than they were before."
That's good.
Yeah. So
some people, just like small businesses, some small businesses just need to light a little fire under their tail to get them motivated.
Right.
And then once they get motivated, then they can't stop. They keep going because they're going, "Oh, I want more." Because now they start seeing the benefits of it.
Right. Exactly.
Just like with those folks. So
yeah, and as for us as instructors and coaches and teachers and so forth, it's our job to make sure they resonate with what you're trying to tell them. Mm-hmm. And you got to figure out how that works based upon, got to know your audience, right?
Yes.
So you can't go sing reggae music to somebody who's in classical music, right?
Some what they call that music that...
opera.
Yeah, exactly.
You go over and see some reggae and opera, and they be like, who brought him here? So you got to understand who your audience is, so in everything that we do, and that's what Ian was talking about.
Exactly
understanding who your audience is, and then becoming dynamic in that space for people that's going to follow you because they become your fan. I mean, that's what Trump has really done. When you stop to look at it, he don't he says he's with the little man. Well, when was Trump ever in the little man? He, like everybody else, there's a lot of them that have started they pulled themselves up by the bootstraps. There's a lot of wealthy people, the nouveau riche, that became rich by creating a product or a service, and they lived in their cars and they did all that. Well, Trump was never a little man. Mm-hmm. His daddy gave him money. Yeah. And his daddy had money. Now, his daddy may have been a little man, or great-grandfather had been a little man. Yeah. So how can you, as a wealthy person, connect and understand the feelings and the needs of the people of lack?
It's like if you've never been hungry, how do you know how it feels to be hungry?
Right. If you don't know, if you've never been homeless, you don't know what that feels like. You've always had a roof over your head, right? Or you are born in a family of abundance. Right. You don't know what it is like to go without shoes or socks or eat mayonnaise sandwiches or whatever, or peanut butter sandwiches.
Or onion sandwiches.
Even our children that have, our children today that live phenomenal lives when they're with their parents, when they go away to college.
Oh, it's different.
Right? It's different. Because mom is not there cooking your oxtails and stuff. You had to learn to cook your oxtails. Exactly. Right?
I had to learn. So, and if it wasn't good, it wasn't tasting good, my mom said, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Go back in there and go cook it."
Right, exactly.
I had to go back and learn how to do it the right way.
Even if you came from a family of some means or affluence or a middle-class family, when you went away to college, you're on your own. Exactly. When you got your first apartment, you're on your own.
That's why most of those college students, they're eating ramen noodles. Because at home, they got a nice meal and all that. Now you're in college, you got to survive. You don't know how to prepare a meal. ramen noodle. That's
and you don't have any money to go out. You use your money and eat out the first week of your allowance, and that's it. The rest of the month, what you eat, and top ramen and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches if you can afford the bread. Just sometimes it's not peanut butter and jelly sandwich; it's peanut butter.
That is true.
But that's where, and that's exactly what Ian's saying. Yeah. Sometimes, and in that industry, it's feast or famine.
Dog eat dog.
Yeah, that's not you're not always making money.
Yeah.
And there are other industries that are like that. If you're in the real estate business, you think, wow, what a lucrative business, right? Especially here in California. But it takes 3 to 4 months to sell a house.
Yeah.
So what do you do in that meantime, 3 to 4 months to eat?
Yeah, that's tough.
And so you got to really become creative. And I think people need to be, you can't be one-dimensional now in business. You have to have multi-talent. So they laugh at us because we might have 19, 15 jobs. Yeah, exactly. But when job 1 ain't paying, job 2 is paying. Right. And if 2 ain't paying, 3, 4, 5, you got to go into your bag of tricks and go, what kind of talent do I need to eat this month? Yeah. That's legal.
That's legal. That's exactly what I'm saying. And, I just want folks out there listening, small businesses, entrepreneurs, listen, you don't necessarily have to use everything that we're saying or everything we're delivering. But just listen, analyze it, and see how well it fits into your wheelhouse. And see if it could work for you.
Right, exactly.
That's how because sometimes when it comes down to it, when it comes to survival, it's not some of the things that that really helps you, even though that's helpful sometimes, but it's the thing that you have to do at that point.
Right.
You've seen a lot of these survival shows, right? People out there and, they may know how to cook a little bit, but, what's there, you can't cook it. Some crazy animals that, you go, okay, are we going to eat this thing or what?
And I've seen, and in fact, it's interesting you said that because I was thinking, I was watching some commercial yesterday and the number of reality shows that came about, and some of them are just using their talents, and they just happen to be, very look good in front of the camera, like when Roz was here. So, if someone come up to you with an opportunity, you don't even think twice about that, right? Somebody's coming up to you, and I got some feedback that some people, when she went to reach out to some of the businesses, they're like, "No, am I gonna get paid?" Yeah. No, you don't. Do you not see the bigger, broader picture that if somebody has a show, doing a show for 12 weeks or whatever the season is, people are going to tune, and it's in their best interest, the people that are creating the show, to market the show. Yeah. So they're marketing you for free. They're putting you on television in every house in America if they choose to watch it. Right. You become a celebrity overnight. Overnight. So what are you talking about? Am I getting paid?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, it's not. And that's what our business owners need to recognize is
think outside of that box.
And when opportunity knocks, it's not going to keep coming back.
And it's not going to look like the type of opportunities that you're used to.
No,
it's going to come in some different forms.
Right.
And you just got to be able to be open and flexible to take those opportunities and run with them.
Right. And that's like they say, I've been praying for my business to grow. Yeah. And then an opportunity knocks and you go, no, thank you. That's not, it's not packaged the way I want it to be packaged.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. It's not in the big red bowl. There's some work to it.
Yeah.
No, I'll pass on that one. I'll wait to my opportunity that's perfectly packaged the way I have envisioned it and hand delivered to me, and then I just walk into it.
And it's never going to be like that.
Never going to be like that. So that's what I want to leave people with today.
Yes.
Is when opportunity does knock, and as cliche as that may sound, you need to be able to step up, be ready.
That's what we've been preaching. Be ready. Be ready. That's what we've been preaching.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Because you never know.
You never know what the opportunity may be and how you can take it, where you can take it, and how it's going to help you. So just be ready.
Right. So we want to let everybody know in February, we're starting our second, speaking of being ready, our mastermind group where we're helping you become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Yep. And we're going to help you complete your package and get yourself registered with certified, and then help you get a contract. So it's time to be ready. So the class is going to be February 22nd at the Los Angeles Urban League, which is at 4401 Crenshaw Boulevard.
Yes.
Check on our Facebook page, the BusinessZone, the Recycling Black Dollars, Los Angeles Urban League, and you will see the flyer there. If you are interested, you can reach out to us and at 323-906-7006 and say that you too want to be certified, because you are ready for whatever opportunity is about to happen in 2018.
You want to reserve your space. Reserve it ahead of time, or you will lose it.
Right. So
now, Crystal, I was going to ask you a question about the class. When is the next Recycling Black Dollars mixer? It's mornings, right?
It is mornings. The next one is February 13th.
13th. Okay.
And it is at Denny's on Crenshaw.
What day of the week is that?
That is always on Tuesday. Okay. We're every second Tuesday of every month.
Second Tuesday. Mm-hmm. I think I'd like to come there and I'd like to be one of your guest speakers.
Okay. Now, next month, we are doing, because it's Black History Month.
Right.
So next month, what Jackie and we were actually trying to decide what we were doing. But I think next month what we're doing is those individuals that are gone from our community that have that had a lasting impact on entrepreneurship and business in our community. We're going to reach out to those who were closest to them that's still here and have them honor them talk about their history. Mr. Garr, who had been here, he was 102 years old. He just died, so we're going to bring one of his kids in. And then we're going to have someone that was close to Muhammad. Right. There's some other powerhouses. Like Marla Greer from Vermont Slauson. They made some real major impacts, and we wouldn't even have the opportunities we have today if it had not been for them. But we definitely March. We don't have a speaker for March, so I'll talk to Jackie about
March
you being
13th.
We're every second Tuesday of every month.
Let's do that then. Let's put me in for March 13th, that Tuesday. And I really would like to talk about a few things. I see we're at the top of the hour.
Right.
So do you have any final?
No, my only final, like I said just a few minutes ago, opportunity. What if an opportunity could change your life for the rest of your life?
That's right. And we'll leave it right there. You're on the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. And we're on every Friday from 3 to 5 on MorrisMediaLive.com.
And we will see you next week.
We're out.
As a small biz pro, so we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, so we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Got my capability statement, yes, I'm ready to go. Got my balance sheet, my P&L, my statement of cash flow. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just